I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this movie, man. If you can't tell by my energy, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie in front. I don't like this movie.
Hey man, I
I
understand.
couldn't get with it, man. I couldn't get with it, and I tried to. Normally, I fuck with Marcus Houston movies.
Hmm.
This one, I just couldn't fuck with.
No,
It it
I
uh
get it. I get it. This was
it
one
it,
of
it,
my least
it,
favorites out of the ones that we've seen
mhm,
so far. And we watched like what, four? This is the fourth
right.
Marcus
It
Houston
feels
movie.
like yeah, it feels like they have a blueprint to making movies now. Ever since the stepmother.
You are now tuned into Black on Black Prime.
Um, disclaimer, like I said, every fucking episode, we don't care if we liked it or not. We still watch your shit, and congratulations to you. We support you, and shout outs to you, nigga, because you made it. We don't know you. We're watching this. Your movie. Anybody around the world can watch your shit. You made it, my nigga. You famous. You good.
Just like always, if you didn't ask for our opinion, we didn't ask you to listen to it. So, sorry.
Click and turn it off. For this one, we're doing the new footage films in conjunction with TDE. I saw that. Did you see that in the credits?
I did, but I didn't know if it was Top Dog Entertainment or another TDE because they would have put the logo, I feel like, right?
Right, because it seemed like they just typed it in there. But
Yeah.
anyway, this is Best Friend starring Marcus Houston and what's the girl's name?
Soraya.
Soraya. That is just Soraya. That's all right.
That's it. Like Prince.
That's what's up. That's what's up. It's about them two are best friends.
Mhm.
It's like do they consider this a thriller or
This is,
what kind of movie would you consider it?
I would say, it's a thriller. It's because it's not a horror movie and it's not like a drama. I mean, I feel like it falls into that thriller, possibly suspense type of film.
Right. It falls into that filler. Because the
Yeah.
first half of this movie was nothing.
You don't think it was about nothing? I think it was like showing you like their friendship, I guess, in the beginning, how strong it was because they were doing a lot of things together that I don't feel like a man and a woman should do that call themselves friends. Like it was very like, I don't know. Like, I've had female friends and I'm not about to lay up cuddle with you. It's not gonna
So you
happen.
mean not a straight man and a straight woman?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like you can
I
be homies, but that's a little bit you crossing the line, homie.
yeah, I feel like we got the point after the first spend the night part of the movie. It
Yeah.
seemed like they just kept repeating the shit. Everything was like, yeah, because you're my best friend. Because I got your back because I'm your best friend. Yeah, you would do that because you're my best friend. It seemed like they said that like 30 times. And
Mhm.
then every scene was just repeat, cut and paste. This time we're gonna eat pizza, lay up, fall asleep together. This time we're gonna watch a movie, lay up, fall asleep together. It seemed long as shit.
Yeah, that streaming
It's
Saturday shit got on my nerves. I was like, ain't no way. Me and my homegirl wearing a t-shirt to watch a movie every Saturday. Like, y'all niggas ain't got nothing else to do but watch a movie. It was like, yo, this is our tradition. It was just like, all right, like, yo, ain't no way, bro. Like, it's just like the relationship. Well, it just didn't seem healthy, like as a friendship. It was just like, okay, like I would have tried to get it out the way long. Maybe they did, maybe they just didn't show it, but I would have tried to get out the way any kind of chemistry I thought might be there, because I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. I need to know that there's no way that we're gonna be together. Like, do you not
what
am I not attractive? Or you like, I find it's like, we, you know what I mean? I find you attractive or whatever. So, while we laying up here, because this is too much, it's too intimate. Like, having a friend, going out, hanging out, cool. Like, but there's boundaries, right? Man, you can't do too much. Like, y'all spending the night and sleeping under the same covers.
yeah, and it was like the
We in the
whole day
post.
take a shower. I got your towel for you.
Nigga picking out our
That's my favorite
clothes.
towel.
Yeah. Yeah. But that
No, all the way far fetched. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tap dance around it. That whole I want to say like 30 minutes of the movie, I was like, we could have did without it.
Mm-hmm.
We get it, your best friends. You said it 30 times. We don't need to keep seeing it.
Yeah, so they're also co-workers. They run a marketing firm or company, you know, and they're coming up with this idea of selling ad share in bulk. I don't know if this is a real thing or whatever, but when I heard about it, oh, that sounds like a good idea. But they're selling ad share in bulk, and they need help, I guess, with funding. You know what I mean? So they reach out to, I think he said he was a billionaire,
Rich niggas.
Yeah, so they reach out to this guy. He's a billionaire. I think his name was Maxwell, if I'm not mistaken. Something Maxwell, Jason Maxwell, whatever his name was. He first of all, he was like, I'm not fucking with y'all because they didn't have their shit together. So when he came in there for the presentation, he was just like, yo, y'all
he was talking shit to him.
Yeah, it was like, y'all got 3 minutes to, you know what I mean, run down what y'all trying to do. Marcus Houston was stuttering, and Soraya came in and saved the day because she was like, you know, attractive woman, come to you like, hey, you know, this is a business. I'm going to give it to you straight. This is what we want to do. And then he's impressed, and he's like, hey, let me take you out on a date now. So that's how the movie begins.
And she throughout this movie, it's easy to take her out.
Oh yeah, all you done do. I mean, that's. I don't. There's not many single women that are probably gonna turn down a billionaire taking them out.
I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying just the approach. You don't have to do much
to take her out.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you need to do to take most women out? Like, you have to. I mean, if they find you attractive, all you got to do is be just like, hey, you know what I mean? Depending on who you. Depending on your location too, you meet her somewhere, she at a bar. Hey, you know, here's a drink. That's $12. You know what I mean? And I take you out, and most likely they're gonna say, yeah, if they find you attractive. If your conversation is,
I'll explain later on in the movie.
Calling her. Basically, you calling her a hoe.
Not necessarily.
I'm just messing with you.
Not necessarily, but she had those vibes. You could I don't even remember. I ain't gonna lie. I remember him going out with her or whatever. They did the whole scenes of her getting close to dude, I guess. Marques Houston kind of seems jealous, but not in a jealous way, like I don't want you to talk to him.
He actually seemed pretty cool in the morning because he's picking out outfits and shit for her or whatever. So, you know, I wasn't the antennas didn't go off right away about who he is or who he was, because it was like he was, you know, hey girl, you should wear this, you know what I mean? Put this on, or you ain't gonna sleep with him, are you? Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't he didn't give off jealous nigga vibes to me.
Yeah, he didn't on that.
So they went on that first
date.
He
should have. But he should have.
Right. When they went on that first date, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, you know, just off of seeing so many movies, you kind of, you know where it's going. You know what I mean? So it's like, I at first I thought that he was just gonna be like a mean nigga. You know what I mean? He was gonna get in there and just start talking all type of shit, and she was gonna kind of accept it because he had money. But that's not what the story is about. But you know, apparently he was charming and a good guy. You know what I mean? Made her actually like him more. And he, you know,
it didn't seem like that to me at first.
What, in the office or on the date?
On the date, it seemed like she felt like she was obligated to go on a date after she went on a date with him. Like she gave me like these feelings like she was uncomfortable. Like she didn't really want to be out with him.
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't think she liked him that much, honestly. But she also said that he happened to be like a really good guy. He was a nice guy. I think what it was is that she just needed an out. She might have been just tired or didn't want to confuse the business and the relationship, you know, because she did want to work with him. So she pretended to be drunk and got in the Uber or had his driver take her.
Was that was the next day, right? Or was that the same date?
That was that first date. They only been on one date.
No, because he gave her the diamond bracelet.
Was that the second date? No, you're right. So yeah, the first date, you're right. Because the first date, I think she came home and was just like, oh, it was good or whatever, right? And then the second time,
not necessarily good. Like like I said, her recap of the date was kind of like I didn't want to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. From what I can remember, I felt like the first date was cool because she was talking to Marcus Houston about him being like a charming, good guy. Like the guy that he was in the office, he's not like that at all in person. And I think the second time around, like you were saying, that's when the like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because he's trying to give her a diamond a necklace after however long they was dating. I don't know what that time span was. It seemed like Saturdays just kept coming because they was doing that streaming shit. Like, yeah, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this movie Saturday. We're gonna watch this movie Saturday. I'm like, all right, what y'all doing in the middle of the week? So yeah, it seemed after that she was uncomfortable because when she was like, I had to pretend to be drunk, and you know what I mean, in order to come home early. So, and I think that's when the movie starts.
Yeah, you see how far we got in before we talked about where shit starts.
Yeah,
I could have did without at least 30 minutes of this movie. Like I could have did without it. I get you trying to set the scene of how close they are, but you did it within 10 minutes. You did it when they driving in the car, and this is our song. How you don't know the lyrics of our song?
mm-hmm.
You did it when they got to the house and he's complimenting that dry ass pizza. You did it when they're talking about, yeah, I got the movie already set. I ran down everything. I took care of everything for you because I know how you forget. Oh, that's why I love you, because you're my best friend. We got it then. We didn't need no more of it.
Yeah, like the whole their dialogue seemed fake. It didn't seem like a real relationship to me. Just like you were saying, it didn't. I don't know. I guess certain things maybe it felt like something was gonna happen and it didn't. You know what I mean? I was just like, man, why don't y'all just ask each other? When she was just like, hey, she looks at him in his eyes, they laying down, cuddle up. You think I'm smart? Like, you know what I mean? And like in my head, I just kept on thinking, I was just like, man, I know that, you know what I mean, if this was real life, it would be the guy that, you know, always wanted to be with this person, but he just never had enough guts to say anything. So he was like, hey, I'm just gonna play the friend role. That's what it seemed like. You know what I mean? After a
It
while,
did, but then it did, but then when he wasn't getting jealous of her damn near settling down with dude, there was no jealousy. So it's like,
yeah, it
when
was
you
kind
find out later on, it's kind of weird. Like we didn't get those vibes at all at first.
of at first, yeah, but it's like I felt like in real life that guy is like, I'm not here because I'm your friend. I'm here because I'm waiting on you to you know what I mean, fall off one day and be
Right. And you're not doing all that cuddling shit because you know what's gonna happen.
yeah, that's overboard, bro. Super. I mean, they're both single people, so you can do whatever the fuck you want to, right? But
yeah,
I just think it was a unrealistic relationship, you know. And I'm sure it's going to be somebody one day to comment and be like, "Oh, nigga, I got a homegirl. We sleep together all the time."
Yeah, I got a homegirl right now. Shut your ass up.
Like, nigga, that's because that's because she don't like you, my nigga. That's all that is. It's easy for a female to do it. Like females can do that shit all day, but a nigga,
Not at all.
I believe it.
Not at all.
So let's get one thing straight before we move on. I'm not sure you even caught it. The B-roll.
Of the you mean the landscape? They keep
Nah, the police station.
the police station.
Did you pick it up?
Hell no, I wouldn't. I was zoned out.
All right, so kept using that same police station. I was like, yo, that police station looked familiar, fam. And I was just like, that's the same police station they used in Blue Street.
Get the fuck out of here.
If you pay really close attention, Martin is in the middle of the street going crazy when he finds out. He's going crazy when he finds out it is a police station now. In the movie.
I need you to put that clip in there because I didn't see it.
Absolutely, bro. And I wouldn't. And I used to QC. QC is pretty much like, I used to watch films like for a little small shit all the time, and that wasn't hard to find. Especially when I knew where the scene was from. As soon as I knew where the scene was from, I kind of looked. I was just like, "Is that Martin in the middle of the street going crazy?"
He was in there.
He was in the movie. Now you
He was
can't
in the scene.
like once I show you, you're gonna start rolling. I'm telling you, once I show you, you're gonna be like, "What?" But I don't think the regular eyes are gonna see it because they're not paying attention to shit like that. But they got Martin They couldn't even. I
shit.
like, dude, because sometimes they got the footage of that. I think they showed the police station like 4 or 5 times. Sometimes they got the police station without Martin in it. But there was one scene where Martin is going crazy when he finds out his diamond is in the police station. I'm just like, no. I was like, I was just like, I wonder if I wonder if the editor tried to be slick and slide this in, or if like they all knew about it. Like, hey, this is Blue Street. We got the release for it. We can use it. They not tripping. You know what I mean? Or is this they just snipped the movie? Like, yo, we need this scene, fam.
It's funny because if I was an editor, I would have did it just to be funny. Like, see if somebody catch this.
Right. That shit was funny though. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't ruin the movie or nothing for me. I just caught it and I thought it was hilarious because Martin is in there just going crazy. But best part.
Get the fuck out of here.
Best part.
So the next, so after the last date where she snuck out drunk.
Yeah.
The next morning, Marques Houston's up already, and the news comes on, and dude is dead.
Yeah, that's when it was clear to me that Marques Houston, like probably had something to do with it. I mean, I wasn't sure, but I was just like, I think this nigga got something to do with this. Like, he kind of.
I assumed he had something to do with it only because of the trailer made him seem like he was crazy and he's supposed to be jealous and a killer.
Mm-hmm. And
so
I think he was the only other character at the time.
Right. So my assumption was it was him. Like, he's supposed to be crazy. He's supposed to be jealously in love. That's the whole premise of the movie. So my assumption is he did it, and now it's starting to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was like, it doesn't make sense for him to be the one who did it the way he reacted.
Yeah. So I knew there was a backstory. I was just trying to figure out when they were going to tell it. You know what I mean? Because the beginning starts off with somebody getting beat up at their home and stabbed or shot.
Yeah.
Somebody getting shot. I was like, so there's a backstory that they're gonna bring in soon. You know what I mean? So once she finds out that he's dead, you know what I mean, I felt like, you know, she just met him, so she was like more scared than upset. She probably was like a little relieved. It looked like, all right, cool, I don't gotta be with this nigga. Got this diamond necklace on GP. So they go to the police station, the Blue Street police station, and
no, they don't go up there. The cop came to her.
No. I'm talking about like the film, like it switches to the film station, and you know, you meet the other character. I forgot what this guy's name was, but he's the officer, and the rest of them, they don't even have his name listed. His real name is Blue Kimball.
Damn.
But so they go to the officer. He finds out that this man was poisoned. Because they had framed it to look like, you know, he had drank a little bit and got drunk, but then there was a history about him saying that he hadn't taken a drink since his boy died in an accident from a drunk driver or something like that.
Right. He was against drinking and driving. Drinking, period, actually.
Right. And then they find out Soraya's character was the last person with him. That's when, you know, they go to the house.
Yeah.
Well, when he goes to the house, the officer, did he go by himself? He went by himself, right?
Or he went by himself.
Yeah.
He went by himself.
Okay.
And that's where he comes in, introduces himself. Marques Houston is protecting Soraya. You don't gotta answer no question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this movie, man. If you can't tell by my energy, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie in front. I don't like this movie.
Hey, man, you know, I understand.
I couldn't get with it, man. I couldn't get with it, and I tried to. Normally, I fuck with Marques Houston movies.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I just couldn't fuck with.
No, I get it. This was one of my least favorites out of the ones that we've seen so far. And we watched like 4? This is the 4th,
right? It feels like, it feels like they have a blueprint to making movies now. Ever since The Stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, if you think back to The Stepmother, you think back to even the other one, which we really fucking with too, but they have the same 30 minutes of the movie you could do without. It's the same pattern now. 30 minutes of the movie you could do without, where they're building up to nothing really till you get to the shits. Then when you get to the shits, it's like we got 6 different turns we're gonna take with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then ending. Happily Ever After.
The thing that I did appreciate about the film is the fact that there was no overacting in it. You know,
oh no, the acting is good every time.
Right. There was nobody being, because they're supposed to be like a crazy person, right? So there was no person in here that was just acting overly crazy, overacting, screaming and hollering or whatever. It was a very chill movie, but I will agree and say this is my least favorite, and it was a little boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like
A little?
it was a little, because I mean I was able to watch it all the way through, so it wasn't boring enough for me to fall asleep, but it was boring enough for me to be like, if this was on TV and I was watching it, it would be like a passive watch. Like it'll just start being on. I'll start looking at my phone or something like that, because it just wasn't. It stopped being interesting after a while. You know what I mean? Like going to the part once the cop came, and he's trying to get information from Soraya, and Marcus Houston is being the protector, and then was a fast forward a little bit. When she meets up with him again, like she asks him out on a date. No, he asks her out on a date.
She asked him.
No, she asked him out on a date.
Didn't
he come back to the house?
No, that was my example of it's easy to get her. She went up there like, I do have some information or something like that. Like she went up there for something.
Yeah.
But then as she's walking away, she's like, hey, if you ever get hungry, I want to go somewhere and sit down and talk.
Yeah. At first, I didn't take that as she liked him. I took that as she just wanted to get away from Marcus Houston and talk about it. So she had to go to the police station, and she might have found him attractive, but they didn't make that clear when she was going, because she just looks like a scared woman trying to figure out what was going on, because they were, looking into her as the prime suspect. Like, you the last person with him. You know what I mean? So
right.
Now you dating the officer that's investigating the case. Of course, like, you're gonna get everybody in trouble. Like, that's actually kind of stupid, you know what I mean? Because low key, when she's talking, he's finding out all kind of shit that he don't even need to know. You know what I mean?
She building his case for him.
Right. It was at one point where he was just like, she said something about Marcus Houston and him, like, because he had stalked them one time on their date.
Yeah, on one of the dates. Yeah, because she missed movie night.
Missed streaming Saturdays. So Marcus Houston I don't know how he found them, but apparently like he was stalking them, and she told him that on one of their dates, and he was just like, so in my profession they call that stalking.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, he's just like that. He's always just been really overprotective, and he starts like kind of putting pieces together. You know what I mean? And then I feel like that's when you start figuring out who Marcus Houston is, because this nigga, like, he's waiting up for her, he's getting mad, then he just start coming at her hella sideways with like personal information. I'm telling you, boy, that's one thing about a friendship, nigga. Like, if you know stuff about me, nigga, even if we ain't cool no more, you gotta cut it. Just act like you don't know it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a wrap. We was friends at one point. But don't get to the point to where you get mad and you start dropping bombs and using my information as ammo. Like, I'm the brains, you the beauty. Remember? All you do is lay on your back. I'm like, God,
you was a hoe. Yeah, because he's tired of protecting her hoe.
That shit was crazy. I'm like, damn, nigga, that's your best friend since y'all. First, it was like they was two. Then it was like they was grade school or some shit like that. They said. So I don't know when they met, but apparently they've been knowing each other since they was kids.
It's like grade school. He's been protecting her since grade school.
Yeah, I guess there was a story in the movie about some guys that she was dating. She wasn't trying to give the guy no play, and then 3 of his friends was trying to like pretty much run a train on that, and he stopped it. So that was the backstory about where his protection stemmed from. You know what I mean? So it's like from then on, he was following her on dates and all kind of weirdo shit.
You gotta protect her. That's what he kept saying. I have to protect her.
Yeah, and I that wasn't really too believable for me either. Like his protection just was like, all right, that's a little too far, bro. Like, that's how you're doing. As nigga showing up in our house like extra creepy now in hoodies.
That's what I'm saying. They were making him seem crazy. Like, that's when I was like, oh, they're turning his crazy on. But then it's like, psych, nah. And then he broke in her house did all of that speech shit, and then showed up to work,
Yeah, like nothing happened.
smiling and talking about the deal they closed.
Yeah, so they actually go through a period where they're sad about each other not being friends no more, and it's this whole montage, I guess, back in the day when they used to kick it, and all their streaming Saturday parties, and it's getting to the point to where it's like, oh, we should just talk. They finally get together, and he can't do it, and it's just, yeah, I don't know, like that. I feel like that's where the movie started to get weird for me, because like I never really believed Marques Houston is crazy. You know what
No.
I mean? It was just like he went from 0 to 100 very quick. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like for a person begging for his, forgiveness, I guess at one point, it's like, I'm sorry what I said. It didn't seem like he was just going. The crazy part was showing up at her crib.
But the crazy part is it's not even a red flag scene. Like that's the ultimate. You broke in her house.
Yeah.
In all black, talking some crazy shit. There's no bounce back.
You don't think you had the key?
Oh, he did, because he said this is our place. Remember?
Yeah. She got on that nigga.
Still,
nigga, your credit was bad. This is our apartment. So that's another thing that I was kind of confused about. So if that was their apartment, right? Their apartment. Where the fuck was Marques Houston staying?
You talking about when he moved out? Yeah, he just moved out of some nice ass. I don't know. Maybe he moved with that
nice plush ass place. Nigga had the modern fucking what was those? The modern cabinets in the kitchen that go up like Lambo doors. I'm like, come on, man. Where's this based?
Maybe did he go? Because who was he talking to? Did he go stay with whoever he was talking to?
You talking about Wesley?
Remember
Jonathan?
they was reminiscing?
Wesley Jonathan?
Yeah, with Sweetness.
Sweetness. I don't know if that was his house or not. I couldn't tell. Because Marques Houston at one point he was walking around a house. I thought that was his home.
Yeah, I was confused on that too. And then, like I said, when he broke in, he was like, "Our place. This is our
right."
And then he came to like a random day and got a can opener. It was like I don't know what's I don't know.
Yeah, I had to figure that out. I was like, too bad I can't go back and watch it because I will not. Just how, like, what happened as far as, did he go just get a property really quick and maybe some time went by, did like a month go by and he ended up getting a home? Because him saying that's our apartment, you can't kick me out, because she was just like, get out of my house. Like, huh?
Nope. I'm not going anywhere.
Like, I live here. What are you talking about?
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But so maybe it was like a month, because like you said, the Saturdays montages, so time passes really fucking fast. The relationships develop really fucking fast in here, because then it was like boyfriend, boo, my boo, I don't feel safe, boo, can I come stay with you, moved in. It was a lot of shit just happening. Like even when I thought it was weird when Marques Houston showed up at the cop's house, like stay away from her or something. He was like, I got her wrapped around my little finger.
That's got to be a felony. You can't just show up to a cop's house on some threat and shit. Like,
in this universe, there are no felonies.
Man, that's crazy. There's no way you gonna go to a man's house, a cop's home, and threaten him on some, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, nigga, I'd be like, nigga, put your hands behind your back, shut the fuck up, like, bro. Like, I'd have came to the door with the pistol. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you doing? Like, nigga, what? Banging on my door in the middle of the night? But yeah, when he said he had him wrapped around her, he was like, I got her wrapped around my little finger. I was like, okay, this nigga might be a little crazy too, or he might just be a a dog ass nigga or whatever.
Yeah, and continuity. When he answered that door, that was an apartment. When she moved in, that was a mansion.
Tell you, all of these places probably the same place. It's just like they probably took it in different angles. I mean, that's what you do in film. I feel like you make one place maybe 4 or 5. That might have been the club too.
That could have. I believe that. I believe it.
Because that club had 4 people in it. They just made it look like
it was one dude in the club trying to get seen. Nigga, he was sitting there with all the damn smooth.
Oh, nigga, I saw he had the blue hoodie on. The blue hoodie, dude. That nigga said.
That nigga was trying to get seen.
Oh, nigga was just like, let me put on my brand. Nigga had on his own clothing brand, probably, and shit. Probably ought to be an extra in this shit. Nigga told everybody on Facebook, like, yo, check the movie out, Best Friend. In theaters, I mean, in Tubi now.
Watch when they get to the club scene. That's me, my nigga. I was giving it all.
That's me.
That nigga was going crazy. But so she said she was scared. She moved in with him.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck happened after that?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. This is the part of the movie that I was like, it got very hard to keep up.
Pay attention.
Yeah, because I was like watching it, but I was like, I'm waiting for I'm almost rushing the conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, like let's get this together, man. Like, well, for this podcast, I'm going to speed it up, and to the part that I remember at the end is when
Fantastic.
Yeah, this pretty much the dude ends up being the brother of the guy that Marques Houston killed. So Marques Houston,
killed accidentally.
Marques Houston accidentally killed the guy Brian Chambers that tried to run a train on Soraya, like in the beginning of not the beginning of the movie, but like in the past. So the beginning of the movie, you see a killing scene, and that's Marques Houston killing the guy Brian Chambers for that action. Yeah. So
surprise it was Marques Houston who ran in there and did it.
Right.
Surprise.
Right. And the cop ends up being the brother, you know what I mean? Which writing wise, I felt like that was bad angle. Like, oh, this is the brother, you know what I mean? He's coming back for revenge. I didn't like that. I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more if Marques Houston was just a crazy nigga that was in love with his best friend. This cop being some nigga coming back from the past to avenge his brother, I wasn't feeling that angle. That's just
I think it's an interesting plot twist, but it's overly thought out, and it's not as clever as they thought it was.
Yeah,
the only reason it's not as clever is because that's not a good enough motive to go join a detective force to build up cases, to work hard to get to the top just to have sex with the girl your brother tried to have sex with.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad story. You know what I mean? It was just more, I didn't like it. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't. It was an interesting twist. Like, oh, that would have worked if the motive made sense.
Yeah, I didn't
that would have made sense because I want to say he did his goal wasn't even to kill Marques Houston, who killed your brother. That wasn't even his goal. I don't think.
I think it was. I think that he wanted to get the revenge by smashing old girl finally and killing Marques Houston.
Oh no! He wanted to frame Marques Houston,
frame him for the killing of her. That's right.
And the dude and Maxwell.
And Maxwell, yeah. So
it's not enough though. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Soraya is there. So Soraya comes to the house when he has Marques Houston. I forgot how he got Marques Houston in the house and tied up. How did that happen? Like, that was a part that I blanked out on. Like, I just know that Marques Houston ended up being in the cop's house, tied up. There was pictures on the wall of Soraya, like with the word slut and everything. And he had crossed out a lot of pictures because he had been thinking about this forever. So he had a whole little, what do they call those things? People that have obsessions.
Like a shrine almost.
A shrine. So he had a whole shrine of Soraya's pictures, and they were all crossed out and said slut all over him or whatever. So Marques Houston is tied up, you know what I mean? Soraya comes to the door from somewhere. I don't even remember, honestly. She comes to the door, and Marques Houston gets free when he's talking to her. I don't know. It's like, you're fucking with a real Boy Scout. I'm like, oh, yeah. This nigga said a nigga that was a Boy Scout for 16 years or some shit like that. He said, man, he knew how to untie knots. You're fucking with a bear cub, nigga. Third string bear.
He literally said it like it was some tough shit. Yeah. If you're the deranged cop who's planned your whole life for revenge, Marques Houston gets out, he's telling the story. I'm not convincing nobody of nothing. I'm killing both of y'all right here and right now.
Popped them out.
Oh, well, the story didn't work the way I wanted it to. You guys are dead right here.
No questions asked, nigga.
I don't. I don't. None of it makes sense. None of it connected the way it was supposed to. If he's that crazy, then he's crazy.
Mhm.
Marcus Houston is crazy, but he's not.
Marcus
Marcus
Houston is
Houston,
just in love, you know what I mean? And he finds out the woman isn't feeling that way, you know what I mean? So I feel like their relationship is always going to be different now.
I feel like Marcus Houston should be in jail for life.
Yeah, because they found out he pretty much confessed to killing Brian Chambers.
Right. They said, but we know it was an accident. So just go in there and tell him that. And he got out in a year. No, you broke in that house. That's breaking and entering.
Yeah.
You went in with the intentions of doing harm to that man. That's premeditated murder. You should be in jail for life. There is no I broke in his house to go beat him up. I didn't mean to kill him though. You killed him. You going to jail for life.
So the other cop got arrested, right? Too, because of what, like, pretty much they found out what he did. His
Yeah, because they found out he killed Maxwell.
Right. So he gets arrested, and I mean, you don't see him anymore. Marcus Houston gets arrested for the murder of Brian Chambers, and like they go whole 1 year later, right? And I thought this was kind of fucked up. Just let you know how much she don't even talk about.
Before you say that, rewind. The detective dude only killed the billionaire dude to frame Marcus Houston, but she had boyfriends before that. Why kill? Why wait till she gets to the billionaire?
He just made detective. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know, man. It's it's how the movie happened. I don't know. So a year passes by. They go to the office scene, and this is where I knew she didn't care about Marcus Houston at all, because this nigga had been in jail for a whole year, came to the office party, and she didn't even move. She was like, "Sup? So you out, huh?"
Damn.
Like, damn, like, did you just see this nigga? Did you visit him the whole time in there or something? Because it seemed like she had visited that nigga every week. Because the way she looked at him, everybody else greeting him, "Hey, man, this party's for you." She's sitting on the balcony like, "Hey."
Right. Like, hey, welcome back.
Welcome
Nigga,
back.
I've been in jail.
Like, yo, nigga, been locked up. Well, convict, you know what I mean? Give a nigga some love. Fuck. So pretty much the movie ends very quickly. Like, that's like I think a Chris Stokes thing. Like, he ends the movies very quick.
Yeah, it'd be like happily ever after. Bam.
Yeah, it's just
Credits.
like there's no, twist at the end. Nobody might still be alive. Ain't no, dragging out a scene of dialogue. It's like, hey, welcome back. Got credits, nigga.
Welcome back. Yeah, best friend. Yeah, I always love you. I always love you too. Credits.
Yeah. So that's the movie, ladies and gentlemen. It's on Tubi right now. Entertaining enough to watch half of it, and the rest I felt like I was just over it. And that's no slight to the production or the acting. It was more of just the story was dragging for me, and I wasn't a fan of the twist.
Right. I think that's the whole problem. Because not the writing ain't even bad. Like the dialogue's not even bad. It's just the story.
Right.
It's literally the story. Like I said, it seems like they have it seems like they have the cookie cutter form where it's like we know what we're gonna do beginning, development, sense of what's going on, plot twist. It seems like that's the way they're doing these movies now. Well from that production place.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hollywood has been doing it for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think there's just there's so many, because there hasn't been a time, like, if you think about it, right? There hasn't been a time to where we've seen a director pop out like so many movies at one time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So far, Chris Stokes, we've seen all of it. Like, we've seen about 4 or 5 movies from Chris Stokes in months. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and you have other directors to where it's like you will go see a movie out and in the theaters or something like that. You're always seeing different directors. So it's just like, it's not repetitive. Right now it feels repetitive that what we're watching, and we kind of are starting to get the blueprint down. Like, just imagine if I mean, I'm just throwing out a director's name because it doesn't even really apply to him. But like, say if you just saw a bunch of Spike Lee movies, you would start to see a pattern, and it would get kind of like, okay, like, I see what this nigga's doing, because it's so bad, back to back to back. You know what I mean? So I mean, he's doing it. You know what I mean? He's getting away with
Hey, it in no way am I saying this is it. I'm not watching. No, I'm gonna watch every time he drop him. I'm gonna watch him because it's like,
Oh yeah,
okay, one time I'm not fucking with it, one time, but out of all the other times I was fucking with it. So it ain't like I noticed the pattern, but it ain't like, oh, I ain't fucking with it no more because I caught on. It is what it
oh
is.
no,
Shit.
the stories ain't all bad. I just didn't like this one. This one was just I just
Right.
more of the twist. You know what I mean? Than anything. I just wasn't feeling the whole crazy cop thing because he wasn't even like the main character, really. You know what I mean? Like Marcus Houston, if you think about Marcus Houston, like I mean, he played a role, but if you think about that, the movie now with the cop being the person, it's like Marcus Houston was low key pointless.
Not necessarily because we was pointing the finger at Marcus Houston through the whole movie.
Yeah, no, I
So
get it.
he's not pointless. I'm just saying the thing that bothered me, the real thing that bothered me was his reasons for doing what he was doing. His reasons weren't strong enough. Getting revenge for your brother, yeah, I get that. But adding the part of I wanted to have sex with her too. And then the path he took to get Marcus Houston, it just seemed so unrealistic, like more unnecessary than anything. If you was gonna kill him or set him up, you could just do that. You didn't have to go join the detective force. You didn't have to do all of that.
Yeah,
You didn't have to build a whole life just to get revenge for against one nigga.
I guess I would just put it together differently. It just like I guess Marcus Houston did play a role. Let me take that back. It just after the movie ended for me, it felt like his character was pointless because the detective became like the prime suspect and he wasn't the movie's called Best Friend. So it's like, you know, I guess this movie is about him protecting her so much. Because it's not like he found out did Marcus Houston find out that this guy? Because I think that's the part we missed, right? Like that we forgot to talk about. Marcus Houston, did he find out that it was Brian Chambers' brother? I forgot how that transpired. Like, how did he
I
find?
think he did. Now that you're saying, I think he.
Because somebody found,
I don't
somebody
even
had to
remember.
find,
I don't
somebody
remember.
had to find out. Like, oh, this is yeah. That part is drawing a blank. I think there was a part in this movie where it's just like, oh, like one of those type of moments to where it's just like he found out that his name is Kevin Chambers and he's related. Or I think the cop might even told him when he
The
kidnapped
cop
him.
told him.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He didn't find out. The cop was just like, my name is Detective Kevin
Yeah, he whispered it. He
Chambers.
said, "Get it, Chambers."
Right.
He did all
Right.
of it.
Okay.
The cop was acting crazy as shit in that scene.
Yeah. So
And
Marcus
when he's
Houston
breaking
did.
everything down.
Yeah, he didn't find out. Like he had to be told. You know what I mean? It's not like he cracked the case. You know what I mean? The cop told on himself, and you know he's out for revenge or whatever. Anyway, let's rate this shit. There's nothing else for me to really break down. Check it out.
Not really.
Check it out for yourself. But
Right, still fuck with it, still support him, man. And this does not stop me from watching any more of his movies. It's just one that I wasn't fucking with. You can't win them all, shit.
yeah, you know, you roll the dice, but I'm going to say right.
I'm going to say right.
That it. Some reason I thought another one was coming, but you did all four.
I got to get rid of the story. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't. I got to get rid of the story.
Oh, that was silence.
Gotcha. Dead silent.
Silence means that's a no-go, family. If you guys didn't check out the rating system, yeah, I gave a to the story. I actually gave the ride to the acting this time.
That's crazy. This is a first where you put acting above everything.
Yeah. I I didn't feel like they did a bad job. You know what I mean? The writing was a right, which is good, and the production was a right because I pointed out the blue streak thing. That was it. That was the only thing that I was kind of like, and they did it a lot. They dropped the B-roll footage a lot, and I feel like the cuts just weren't clean enough for me. And I usually give the production a huge right.
Yeah. I'm giving an exclamation right to the production because I didn't catch that Martin thing. I think more so, even with that, I probably would have laughed more than anything.
It was hilarious. That's the best part.
But it was still crisp though. Like production was still crisp. I gave an exclamation right to the acting too, and then I give the story a regular right. I mean, not story. I give the writing a regular, but that story, man.
Shout out to Marques Houston though. They on that nigga's head right now. In real life about, I don't know if you're seeing the memes and shit. This nigga been dating a 22-year-old for 10 years, and they was like, the math ain't mathing. I don't,
that ain't my business, and I don't know that story.
Yeah, I don't know the story full enough to get into it. I just know that that's kind of weird. I mean, he came out and said nothing about it. There's so many different stories about Marques Houston that it's kind of like, I'm not a judge, and
ain't none of my goddamn business. As far as the movies go,
movies is cool, but I don't know what he doing.
His movies.
I don't know what he doing. Yeah. But hey, shout out to that nigga. I hope the rumors ain't true, because
hey, I don't know about no rumors. I don't look into none of that shit. That ain't none of my fucking business. I don't want to hear. I don't want to discuss it. That's why we do a movie review podcast. We don't discuss current events. Because a lot of this shit ain't my goddamn business.
It ain't our business, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. If what a person is like, if a person is convicted of something, right, that I feel like is like, I'm not supporting that nigga no more, then it's definitely my business not to review that shit.
Yeah, but you don't want your opinion swayed by something that's a rumor. So
right. That's what I said. That's what I said. It's a rumor. I can't say nothing right now. I'm talking about like if I knew, like right, like I know for sure. Like I ain't fucking with that shit.
If there's a conviction, then it's like, oh man, fuck that nigga. But until then, everything is rumors. Niggas can say anything about anybody.
Yeah, that's real. That's definitely a Hollywood thing. Motherfuckers there's so many rumors out there, nigga. I was like, man, it's like you never want to be famous because it's like you can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Can't do a goddamn thing
in your life. If you put your life on Instagram and shit like that, that's why, not getting into it deeply, but like somebody like a Kendrick Lamar, like you don't really know too much about that nigga unless he tell you. They ain't got no Instagram,
don't do no interviews,
no Twitter, no interviews, nothing. This is like, shit, I'm gonna drop an album every 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? I might do like a few videos and then I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna get them Grammys.
Live my life. Y'all my business. Y'all mind yours. I fucks with that.
That's the best way. But
like you said, shout out to Marques Houston. Shout out to Footage Film. Shout out to Chris Stokes. Shout out to Tubi. Shit. We'll keep watching.
Still waiting on that You Got Served musical, my nigga.
Like and subscribe, man.
We out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify and follow us on IG and TikTok.